This week, the ladies are in a cage match that will decide which show was better, Lizzie McGuire or That's So Raven. Defending Lizzie McGuire, the dirty joke master and ultimate pug snuggler, Whitney Van Lanningham. Duking it out for Disney's That's So Raven, rabid David Tennant fangirl Kriss Carr. These fierce foes have a score to settle, squaring off against one another, each their ultimate nemesis.
No, not really. I mean, we got nachos before this together, so yeah.
Punch each other! Let's see who wins on this week's Versus! Theme song!
That's So Raven was an amazing Disney Channel show following Raven Baxter, a psychic teen with tons of sass and style to boot. The show was rooted in physical comedy, wacky antics, and insane disguises. Like, seriously, where do these Disney kids find all these affordable wigs, prosthetics, and fat suits? And despite all the goofiness, it still gave us life lessons about friendship, body shaming, bullying, and more. The theme song was amazing. I dare you to blast that and not start to move. It's impossible. If you want to know what the episode's about, listen to the song. Whole plot of every episode is right there. Being psychic seems awesome, right? But then it's not that easy. She tries to save the situation, then ends up misbehaving. You know exactly what you're in for. Psychic powers, awesome costumes, and slapstick comedy. Let's go!
All right, guys, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think I have this theme song thing in the bag. Who might you ask sung the Lizzie McGuire theme song? Why, none other than Angie Jaree, of course. Angie literally won a Grammy. Raven-Symoné was fine on her show and she was great in the Cheetah Girls, but she definitely doesn't have a Grammy and she's definitely the most irritating host The View has ever had. Plus, the Lizzie McGuire theme song is so much fun. It's all about how life isn't always as perfect as it seems from the outside. We're all just doing our best here, living our dreams and trying not to be shitheads. It doesn't really get any more real than that. It's kind of like that show predicted how obsessed we'd become with looking like we're having the best time on Instagram, when in reality we're just as average as everybody else. Except for my pug. His Instagram is pretty accurate. I fucking love him. He's tiny and he's soft. And he poops.
Plot!
Nothing was really revolutionary in terms of story here. Extraordinary teen deals with abilities or circumstances that should make their lives easier, but typically ends disastrously. That pretty much sums up every show. But Raven did it so well. We don't deal with an origin story. We just jump right in with Raven and her friends Chelsea and Eddie, accepting that she has powers, that there's no grander purpose to them, and that we're all just along for whatever wacky ride her visions take us on, for better or worse. And Raven has the best life. She has an amazing home in San Francisco with the coolest room. What teenager got to have lounge seating in their room? Her dad was an awesome chef who opened up a place cool enough for everyone to hang out, the aptly named Chill Girl. And she had that crazy fashion internship and the confidence to wear the most perfectly early 2000s fashions. Did we all really like plaid and fake fur that much, guys? Ugh. And her friends were the best. Besties Chelsea and Eddie were fantastic foils to her. Absent-minded Chelsea loved nature and animals and was super eco-conscious and spiritual, as opposed to our more materially focused Raven. Girl crazy and sports-minded Eddie is the first to try and keep Raven from coming up with crazy schemes. And let's talk brothers for a moment, shall we? Corey was a way better bro than Matt McGuire. Corey could dish out comebacks at Raven, call her out for being super weird or messing things up. I mean, he got his own spin-off to go live in the White House. Way more interesting cast of characters. That's So Raven now has its second spinoff, Raven's Home. A continuation of That's So Raven, Raven's Home features a divorced Raven and divorced Chelsea raising their kids together. Raven has twins, one of whom has psychic powers, and, of course, our girl still has her visions as well. Is there a new Lizzie McGuire show I'm not aware of?
It's called the Lizzie McGuire movie. Ever heard of it? That movie brought in $20 million opening weekend. I took all my friends to see it for my 12th birthday party. And dude, come on. Corey in the House flopped immediately, and its failure was immortalized in meme form on the internet. You can be optimistic about Return of Raven all you want, but my money is on it blowing up on the launch pad. Lizzie McGuire, on the other hand, was a totally relatable show about what it was like to be in junior high. I honestly never felt more like Lizzie than when she had to ask her mom to go bra shopping for the first time. That shit was too real. And her little brother Matt was hilarious. He was the master of pranks, a ninja when it came to stealing Lizzie's diary, and the greatest TV little brother the world has ever seen. And what about her unrequited crush on Ethan Kraft? Hello, that's the kind of wet dream man candy that preteen hormones are made of. Lizzie always had the coolest hairstyles and the raddest outfits. You better believe I bought her entire wardrobe as soon as they released it to Limited too. Plus, come on, she had a cute little cartoon version of herself narrating all of her inner thoughts. Lizzie McGuire basically invented Bitmoji, you're welcome. Plus, I love that the visual aspects of the show were made to mimic the visuals in the film Run Lola Run. This show perfectly mirrored normal teenage life and helped so many people feel less alone while they tried to navigate the sticky, smelly, hairy aspects of puberty. I'm sorry, but I just can't relate to being psychic. It's cool and all, but I'd take animated Lizzie over Vision Quest ayahuasca trip Raven any day.
Raven's Home has been greenlit for season 2, so you burnt. Look, if we were talking the real Hilary Duff versus Raven-Symoné, I would totally be on Team Duff. I love my Texas babe. Her show Younger is fire, and Raven for the past few years mostly just threw gasoline on controversy over at The View. But we're talking OG early aughties Disney, and you've got to bow down to what That's So Raven did for Disney Channel as a whole. Let's look at some numbers. Most Disney live-action shows like Famous Jet Jackson, Even Stevens, and Lizzie McGuire lasted 65 episodes and were done. And sure, Lizzie got her movie, but That's So Raven was the first Disney Channel series in history to hit the 100-episode syndication threshold. That's obviously been surpassed now with shows like Wizards of Waverly Place, but Raven laid the foundation for future shows to live longer. Without the success of Raven, we'd have no Wizards, no Hannah Montana. We wouldn't have seen the bizarre evolution of Miley Cyrus. Raven-Symoné is directly correlated to Wrecking Ball. Boom!
Dude, Lizzie McGuire ended on the best note. Everything was wrapped up perfectly with the Lizzie McGuire movie, and we didn't have to sit through another 40 episodes when the writers got lazy and the actors didn't care anymore. Come on, which do you like better, Weeds or Breaking Bad? Weeds had more seasons, but Breaking Bad was a perfect show, and it ended right when it should have. Have you ever heard the saying that sometimes less is more? Quality over quantity? Yeah, that's what I thought. Now let's talk characters. Lizzie obviously was adorkable and hilarious and really paved the way for clumsy, awkward girls everywhere. I loved that the show was realistic about how cranky teenagers get. Every now and then, Lizzie gets a little bitchy with Gordo and Miranda and really brings depth to the character. If she was just fun and happy all the time, it would feel phony and gross, and I'm not about that life. Then there's Miranda, who always had the wackiest wardrobe. That girl could mix inverse colors like it was her job. She was the perfect best friend to Lizzie, loyal and funny and silly and creative. Without her, Lizzie would have never been able to stand up to Kate. And speaking of Kate, who's a more perfect villain than a mean, nasty 8th grader? She reminded me of this girl, Brianna Jensen, who used to pretend to be my crush on AIM and then read our conversations out loud to everyone in the cafeteria. But in the end, it turns out that despite being the most popular girl in school, deep down, Kate is just as insecure as everybody else. I love that they redeem her in the Lizzie McGee movie, because seeing girls pitted against each other kind of breaks my heart. Like most middle school girls, Lizzie and Miranda didn't exactly have a ton of female BFFs, and that's where their rad guy friend Gordo comes in. Gordo's the guy that you think isn't cool in middle school, but later grows up to have a super eclectic taste in music and a blue ribbon from a unicycle race. He's weird as hell, and he doesn't care who knows it. Plus, I love that he has ambitions to go to film school. It's never too early to start making your dreams a reality, and Gordo was actually kind of one of the first vloggers. He always carried around his video camera and took endless awesome footage of all of his friends' lives. He's basically like if Logan Paul wasn't a garbage fire and also Jewish. And don't even get me started on Ethan Kraft. Ethan was a regulation hottie, and I still low-key have a crush on him. Last I heard, he's a water polo coach at Pepperdine University, so ladies, you know that his abs are still on point. As long as he hasn't lost those gorgeous flowing locks, I'd still let him do me underneath the bleachers during a football game.
But hey, you guys are free to have your own opinions.
But one of us is clearly right, so make sure you vote for me.
That's so funny, because actually they're all going to be voting for me.
Let us know in the comments who you agree with and why. Loser will be mauled immediately by a polar bear, and I don't think either of these hosts have had their rabies shots.
Dude, you can't keep doing this. We have rights.
Whitney, we signed an NDA.
Well,
Before you go, girls, there's one more thing.
Please, I have a fiance and a dog at home.
why would you make us do this?
Say it!
You're watching Disney Channel.